Appointed Judge Eileen Cannon down in South Florida has now been hit with a lawsuit by the watchdog group American Oversight for continuing to hide the potentially criminal activities of Donald Trump. Now, for more than a year, Judge Cannon had been hiding Volume 1 of former Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's report on Donald Trump's alleged criminal activities. Volume 1 involved the documents that he took from Washington and hid them down there in the Mar-a-Lago bathroom. But eventually, through Smith's testimony, through all of that, through appeals, we got it. Volume 2, however, dealt with Donald Trump's actions before, during, and after the Capitol riot. And back in December, Judge Cannon, who was not involved in that case at all, but Judge Cannon ruled, nope, Volume 2 is going to stay hidden as well. You can't have it, you can't see it, you don't need it. So I'm putting in a ruling that says nobody can see Volume 2. So the watchdog group American Oversight said, yeah, that's not going to fly. And they filed a lawsuit with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals asking them to please, for the love of God, overrule Cannon and release the report. Now, before I read a statement from the group's leader, let's get a couple things clear. Number one is that Judge Eileen Cannon had no legal basis for hiding either one of these reports, Volume 1 or Volume 2. There was no legal basis for it. The individuals involved had either already been prosecuted or had the charges against them dropped. So nobody is in any danger of getting prosecuted. Trump's president of the United States already, so it's not like it's going to damage him politically or otherwise. So there's no legal basis for hiding Volume 2 or Volume 1 or Volume 2. None. Second, Judge Cannon shouldn't have even had jurisdiction to rule on this. She was not involved in that investigation. She was not involved in that case. That was Judge Tanya Chutkan. This should have been Chutkan's decision, and I think we all know where she would have gone with it instead. But none of this makes any sense. So American Oversight has the law on their side. They have common sense on their side. They've got everything on their side, hopefully up to and including the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. But they're a mixed bag, and I don't know that they're going to go with it. But here is what American Oversight's executive director said in a statement. We will not allow the president and his guard dogs to bury information that belongs to the American people. For more than a year, Judge Cannon has kept the special counsel's final report under seal long after any legitimate claims by Trump's co-conspirators expired. By blocking our effort to challenge her gag order, the court handed President Trump a roadmap for burying the report through delay and procedural gamesmanship. As special counsel Jack Smith recently testified, the report documents powerful evidence that the president willfully retained highly classified information after leaving office, putting national security at risk. We are seeking immediate relief to reverse Judge Cannon's decision and prevent her from ruling on motions that would permanently erase this report from its historical record. The public deserves the truth, not a justice system that can be manipulated to hide it. So not only are they suing for the release of the reports, but they're also like, also, court, can you rule that she's not allowed to rule anymore on any of this? I love that part. That's my favorite part. Like, don't just overturn her, smack her around a bit. Legally, of course, speaking. Tell her that she's done hiding all of this and covering up Trump's corruption. Because God knows if she gets the chance, she's going to keep doing it. Because Judge Cannon is absolutely gunning for a spot on that U.S. Supreme Court should Clarence Thomas or Alito decide to leave. She wants it. She's probably the front runner for it. And she'll keep protecting Donald Trump until she gets it. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.
You're watching The Legal Breakdown. Glenn, we have a big update as far as one of Donald Trump's top henchmen are concerned, where his law license may now be at risk. Can you explain what just happened?
Yeah, Brian. Ed Martin, our viewers will probably remember that name. This is the guy that Donald Trump tried to make the top prosecutor in Washington, D.C., the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. And Ed Martin proved to be a bridge too far for the Republican-controlled Senate, and they refused to confirm him. So then they shifted Ed Martin over to the Department of Justice, put him in charge of the weaponization group. But he wasn't long for that position either. He got himself into some hot water. He was removed from that position, not to mention he was removed from the Department of Justice, and he's in some satellite office building halfway across town now. However, he is still the pardon attorney for the United States of America, because of course he is. Well, when he was acting U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, what did he do? He threatened Georgetown University School of Law by saying, I understand that your school is teaching and promoting DEI. This is unacceptable and you must stop. And when they opted not to stop because they have First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, it is a Catholic and Jesuit private institution, he punished them by prohibiting any Georgetown University law students or anybody affiliated with Georgetown from working at the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office. Brian, I would say this is like legal bizarro world, but what it really is Trump world. They don't believe that the laws or the Constitution apply to them or constrain their conduct. Not to mention, before I get to the good part, prosecutors have absolutely no right or jurisdiction or authority to run around and tell colleges and universities what they can and can't teach and what they can and can't promote. That is not the job of a prosecutor. We are there to investigate and prosecute crime. And policies that law schools and universities may have with respect to things like diversity, equity, and inclusion has nothing to do with the criminal law. So all of that being said, the D.C. Bar Council is doing its job. Ed Martin holds a license to practice law from the D.C. Bar. That's where he's barred as an attorney. I should add, before you can work as a federal attorney at the Department of Justice, you have to hold a state law license from one of the 50 states or the District of Columbia, and his is in the District of Columbia. Well, there were ethical allegations filed against him, including by a retired judge, saying this is all unethical and frankly unconstitutional conduct, what Ed Martin did. And the Bar Council agreed. They opened an investigation. And let me tell you just a little bit of what that allegation alleged.